Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. People are loving the format of this evening's debate, where we are taking every clip, having a debate on it, a separate clip, having a debate on it. They say tonight's debate is very, very focused because for those of you who did not hear the full 90-odd minutes of the Prime Minister's speech, you have the most important takeaways. So thank you for your feedback. And now it's time for the nation's sharpest opinion. What are the takeaways in the Prime Minister's speech? There are 8 takeaways, 8 most important points in the Prime Minister's 1 hour and 38-minute historic speech in Parliament. I see this as the most important speech singularly before the 24 battle, and here's why. Number 1, the Prime Minister has declared 370 for only the BJP and 400 plus for the NDA. This means the Prime Minister is reading the 24 election differently from 29. Because even insiders and psephologists will say the 370 plus number is about 40 more, even if the BJP goes all out. So there's some mega X factor from the Modi reading of this campaign. And he is the most experienced and popular Prime Minister that the country has had. Point number 2, the Prime Minister has rightly called out the rivalry of the UPA era of being mighty pleased about being the 11th largest economy. You know, when Manmohan Singh and Chidambaram would say, let's celebrate, we are the 11th largest economy. This tells me the Prime Minister is very, very, very secure about the transformation he has led for India's economy. He's confident that the schemes have reached the ground. He's confident about the dramatic shift in a digital-first economy. And he's, most importantly, razor-sharp sure about the contrast between the Congress era and now economically. Third, the Prime Minister is solidly reminding people about the paralysis of the Congress era. And that is very significant as a reminder 10 years in. If he is going to up the ante before the 370 plus figure, usually people are defensive. They say, no, we didn't do too many things wrong. That's not the way the Prime Minister is approaching the battle. He's looking for pro-incumbency in a solid way. If this pro-incumbency happens, then he goes down into history. Fourth, the unapologetic takedown of Nehru. Very good. I'm very happy. I'm glad the Prime Minister wasn't being too politically correct about it, because the damage Nehru did, the selfishness of Nehru, the mistakes of Nehru, and the fact that Nehru was planted, selected and not elected as the first Prime Minister of the country. He has to be exposed. This is very significant for me, because this concoction, ladies and gentlemen, of blind praise for Nehru and Nehruinism had to be countered. And the Prime Minister is positioning politically aggressively to openly counter it. Fifth, the Prime Minister's step-by-step layout of what he calls his 3 terms is not just about confidence and equal, about strategic vision being delivered. He's working part of a plan. Sixth, corruption is going to be the main focus. The looters will be dragged back. Seventh, the zero tolerance to the Tukde gang is back in focus. Integration in the cacophony of secession of the opposition. That for me will set the tempo. And finally, the countering openly and confidently on the OBC issue. It was just, the way in which the Prime Minister said, you keep saying that where are the OBCs in our bureaucracy, in our government? And he pointed at himself and he said, you don't see me standing here. Ladies and gentlemen, here's clip 4, then we'll debate.
देश की जनता ने हमें जब पहली बार सेवा करने का अवसर दिया, तो हमने पहले कार्यकाल में यूपीए के समय के जो गड्ढे थे, वो गड्ढे भरने में हमारा काफी समय और शक्ति लगी। हम पहले कार्यकाल में वो गड्ढे भरते रहे। हमने दूसरे कार्यकाल में नए भारत की नींव रखी और तीसरे कार्यकाल में हम विकसित भारत को निर्माण को नई गति देंगे। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, पहले कार्यकाल में हमने स्वच्छ भारत, उज्ज्वला, आयुष्मान भारत, बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ, उसी प्रकार से सुगम्य भारत, डिजिटल इंडिया, ऐसे कितने ही जनहित के कामों को अभियान का स्वरूप देकर के आगे बढ़ाए। टैक्स व्यवस्था आसान हो, इसके लिए जीएसटी जैसे निर्णय लिए और हमारे इन कामों को देख करके जनता ने भरपूर समर्थन दिया। जनता ने बहुत आशीर्वाद दिए, पहले से भी ज्यादा आशीर्वाद दिए और हमारा दूसरा कार्यकाल प्रारंभ हुआ। कांग्रेस की जो मानसिकता है, जिसका देश को बहुत नुकसान हुआ, कांग्रेस ने देश के सामर्थ्य पर कभी भी विश्वास नहीं किया। वे अपने आप को शासक मानते रहे और जनता जनार्दन को हमेशा कमतर आंकते गए, छोटा आंकते गए। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, देश के नागरिकों के लिए कैसा सोचते थे, मैं जानता हूं, मैं नाम बोलते ही उनको जरा चुभन होगी, लेकिन 15 अगस्त लाल किले से प्रधानमंत्री नेहरू ने जो कहा था वो मैं जरा पढ़ता हूं। लाल किले से भारत के प्रथम प्रधानमंत्री ने जो कहा था वो पढ़ रहा हूं, नेहरू जी ने। उन्होंने कहा था, हिंदुस्तान में काफी मेहनत करने की आदत आम तौर से नहीं है। हम इतना काम नहीं करते जितना कि यूरोप वाले या जापान वाले या चीन वाले या रूस वाले या अमेरिका वाले करते हैं। ये नेहरू जी लाल किले से बोल रहे हैं। यह न समझिए, यह न समझिए कि यह न समझिए कि वह कौमें, ये न समझिए कि वह कौमें कोई जादू से खुशहाल हो गई। वो मेहनत से हुई है और अक्ल से हुई है। ये उनको सर्टिफिकेट दे रहे हैं, भारत के लोगों को नीचा दिखा रहे हैं। यानी नेहरू जी की भारतीयों के प्रति सोच थी कि भारतीय आलसी है। नेहरू जी की भारतीयों के लिए सोच थी कि भारतीय कम अक्ल के लोग होते हैं। हमें देश के सामर्थ्य पर भरोसा है, हमें लोगों की शक्ति पर भरोसा है। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, देश की जनता ने हमें जब पहली बार सेवा करने का अवसर दिया तो हमने पहले कार्यकाल में यूपीए के समय के जो गड्ढे थे, वो गड्ढे भरने में हमारा काफी समय और शक्ति लगी। हम पहले कार्यकाल में वो गड्ढे भरते रहे। हमने दूसरे कार्यकाल में नए भारत की नींव रखी और तीसरे कार्यकाल में हम विकसित भारत को निर्माण को नई गति देंगे। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, मोदी ने उनको पूछा जिनको पहले कोई पूछता तक नहीं था।
And ladies and gentlemen, on the debate, I have with me Sanju Verma and Suhail Seth on one side. Suhail backs the Prime Minister's speech. Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP. We have the Samajwadi Party's Vivek Silas and backing the Aam Aadmi Party, Dr. Piyush Joshi. Vivek Silas, I want to start with you first. And Piyush Joshi. How wonderful that the Prime Minister exposed Nehru, a Prime Minister who said that Indians lack intellect. A Prime Minister who from the Red Fort said, you Indians, you are lazy. Indians are lazy. Chinese are not lazy. Indians lack intellect. Europeans have intellect. How unfortunate. The Prime Minister followed it up by saying, Vivek and Piyush, that he has faith in 140 crore Indians. 25 crore have been lifted out of poverty in his years because they got sadhan, sansadhan and swabhiman, resources, opportunities, pride. This is very important because if a leader runs down his own people, if you have people like Rajiv Gandhi, पैसे नहीं पहुंचते गरीब को, बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है, जमीन हिलती है, लोग मरते हैं, इंडियंस में बुद्धि नहीं है, इंडियंस में क्षमता नहीं है, इंडियंस में कुछ काम करने की इच्छा नहीं है. These kind of prime ministers we have had. So Vivek and Piyush, first of all, don't look so disappointed. It's not over till it's over. But please respond to these comments of the Prime Minister.
Yes, first of all, very good evening to you, Arnab. I think the Honorable Prime Minister has taken India and the people of India for granted. That is why he has said that the Bharatiya Janata Party is going to win 370 seats and the NDA would get, say, around 400 plus. That is what he said. I think it is, it is for the people of India to decide that who is going to get what at the end of the day. It's not the Prime Minister that who can decide it in the Parliament. I think it is an insult to the voters of India what he said. The Prime Minister also talked about Ayushman and Ujjwala in his speech. I was hearing his speech very, very carefully. But he did not mention the CAG report, that how corruption has been done in Ayushman Yojana and Ujjwala Yojana both. He talked about GST, but he didn't even speak a word about the demonetization and the after effects of demonetization. He talked about Khadi also, very surprisingly. But he forgot to mention that he wears a suit of 10 lakhs and he changes his dresses 4 times a day. He talked about 2 crore. He couldn't give 2 crore jobs, but today he talked about 3 crore Lakpati Didi. That is an irony, it is something incredible. बेटियों की भी बात की और नोटबंदी में बेटियों की कैसे उन्होंने इंसल्ट की थी, सबने देख किस तरह से मजाक उड़ाया. मणिपुर में क्या हुआ बेटियों के साथ, उस पर एक शब्द नहीं बोला. हमारी रेसलर्स के साथ क्या हुआ उन्होंने नहीं let me I just take 10 seconds more, ना please give me 10 seconds. Today our honorable prime minister ने आइसक्रीम की बात की कि महंगी आइसक्रीम खा सकते हैं, कोई फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन उन्होंने निर्मला जी की बात नहीं की जिन्होंने कहा हम तो लहसुन प्याज खाते ही नहीं है, तो हमको क्या पता उसका क्या रेट हो. उन्होंने कहा मुझ पे जितना जुल्म कर सको जुल्म कर लो. उन्होंने ये भी कहा, मैं बहुत पंजू जी बिल्कुल कहा, लेकिन जुल्म तो मोदी जी ने देश की जनता पे किया है. जिस तरह से गरीबी, महंगाई, बेरोजगारी, शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य में काम नहीं हो रहा है और जिस तरह से लगातार भ्रष्टाचार बढ़ता जा रहा है. किसानों की बात की उन्होंने कि आय दुगनी करने की बात तो उन्होंने 2022 में की थी. संजू जी, क्या हुआ? आय दुगनी हो गई क्या? किसानों को आप लोग ने आतंकवादी और पाकिस्तानी और खालिस्तानी क्या क्या नहीं बोला. उनके सामने कीले निकल आप लोगों ने गाड़ दी कि वो आगे नहीं आ पाए. 750 किसानों की शहादत हो गई, लेकिन आप लोग पे असर नहीं हुआ और आखिरी में कानून को वापस
Vivek Silas. Vivek Silas, I need to just correct you. Vivek Silas. Vivek Silas, before Sanju Verma gives you a political response as BJP, or no, I just want to make a quick point. Vivek Silas said, surprisingly, Prime Minister mentioned Khadi. Now, I need to, bring some facts. When Prime Minister Modi took over in 2014, the annual turnover of Khadi and Village Industries Commission, which is the body which takes care of Khadi as an industry in India, was 8,000 crore rupees, less almost $1 billion. Today it is 1,35,000 crore rupees, more than any FMCG multinational in the country.
Okay.
And that's because Prime Minister Modi's focus on Khadi, push for Khadi and commitment to Khadi. So I think that fact I wanted to bring to the notice of Silas, who is surprised by Prime Minister's mention of Khadi. And another quick point before the debate gets political, Arnab. Nehru was very confident of himself. You know, he could wine and dine and whatever with the best in the world. But he was not confident about his own people, the people he led. But Prime Minister Modi is of course confident about himself, and that is the reason why he's saying BJP is going to get 370 seats and NDA 400, and he's confident about the people of the country also. That's the difference.
Yeah. Correct. Let Sanju respond now to the initial comments in response to this.
Thank you. You know, Arnab, I'll start with a quote from one of my favorite movies by one of my favorite actors, Brad Pitt, in this movie called The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. There's a saying, there's a line which, you know, has stuck on with me. It says our lives are defined by opportunities, even the ones that we miss. And I dare say, the BJP's trajectory in the last 10 years under the aegis of Prime Minister Narendra Modi is defined by every opportunity that has been handsomely capitalized. And on the flip side, the Congress has defined itself by every opportunity that it has willfully and deliberately chosen to ignore and miss. That is the harsh reality. Now, coming to some hard facts, you know, people accuse me, oh, she rattles data. You know, because I think data does not lie, and I would rather engage in data than in flippant rhetoric. The Prime Minister laid down the tenor ahead of 2024 by giving out relevant statistics. But since the Samajwadi panelist said, ye nahi hua, wo nahi hua, I would urge you to first listen to my video, which is going quite viral on Twitter. I've showcased how, by virtue of 28 lakh people joining the EPFO and ESIC every month, we are talking of 3.34 crore subscribers every year, which means in the last 10 years, 33.6 crore subscribers were added, roughly 34 crore, assuming that only 63% of these are new joinees in the 18 to 25 age bracket. That means effectively in the last 10 years, we've not added 20 crore jobs. How many jobs did we add? We added 21.42 crore jobs. That is simple mathematics. Now, don't disturb me. Point number 2. This entire bogey of inflation, inflation par Pradhan Mantri baat nahi karte. So I've done a calculation, and this is numbers that I've gotten from the World Bank. It's not numbers that I've culled out from my hat. 10 years of Sonia Gandhi / Manmohan Singh government from 2004 to 2014, average inflation, retail inflation, which I'm talking of, was 10.4%. Average retail inflation under the Modi government in the last 10 years, despite two black swan events, a global pandemic, the worst in over 100 years, and the Russia-Ukraine conflict in 2022. Despite two black swan events, the average retail inflation is 5.4%, below the RBI's upper band of 6%. So point number 2 is I've busted your two falsehoods pertaining to inflation and unemployment, which I encounter from this cabal of Rahul Gandhi and co on every other debate a zillion times. Now, speaking of Nehru, very quickly without being verbose, I want to add this. You know, way back between 1947 and 1964, the average GDP growth of Japan was 7.9%. USSR 4.4%. ठीक है भाई, these economies were doing well and were considered developed even way back a couple of decades back. But imagine, even an economy like Burma grew at 3.16% between 1947 and 1964. And Arnab, do you know what was the GDP growth under Nehru between 1947 and 1964 when it comes to India? It was a measly, a pathetic 1.68%, and our life expectancy rate under Nehru was 32 years, when even sub-Saharan Africa had a life expectancy of 48 years. So there I busted your narrative with respect to Modi ji ne kuch kiya nahi, Modi ji ki guarantee ye hai, wo hai. I want to ask me, please, just indulge me for 20 seconds more. You know, when the Samajwadi Party sits here, now this is my political response. Keep the data aside for the time being. My political response, you say Narendra Modi ji ne kuch nahi kiya. बेरोजगारी बढ़ रही है, inflation बढ़ रहा है, the safety and security of the nation is on tenterhooks. hypothetically assuming all that you're saying, your reckless allegations, have a modicum of truth in them. My simple question then is, the Samajwadi Party was routed in 2017 assembly elections. In 2022 assembly elections, you said, chahe duniya idhar ki udhar ho jaye, Yogi Adityanath, the incumbent chief minister, will never come back to power. And what happened? For the first time in 37 long years, a sitting chief minister from the relevant party, the BJP in this case, rode back to power with 255 seats, and for all of the Samajwadi Party's false bravado on television debates, you were reduced to a measly 111 seats. And do you know, Arnab, how many seats the Samajwadi Party has in the Lok Sabha today? They got 5 seats in 2019 from Uttar Pradesh, but they lost the Rampur and the Azamgarh by-elections. Today, Samajwadi Party has a measly 3 seats in the Lok Sabha, and it is unfortunate that I have to debate with these people जो चुनाव जीतना नहीं, चुनाव हारना जानते हैं.
And now your 20 seconds are way over. Sanju, now I need to get others in. The point being, I want an analysis on this, because Sohail is one of the best brand communication experts in the country. He knows the art of messaging. His whole career is the art of messaging. In that sense, how do you review the Prime Minister's speech, or what would you think is his fundamental message?
So, 3 things here, Arnab. From his speech, it's very clear he is now in election mode. The problem is not the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is a politician. Akhilesh Yadav is a politician. Arvind Kejriwal is a politician. Rahul Gandhi, sadly, is an activist. You have to decide whether you want to be a politician or an activist. Number 1. Number 2, look at the India alliance. To my mind, the biggest mistake the opposition made was christen themselves under India. Today, that India is fractured and divisive. Imagine Akhilesh Yadav having to say that mere ko nyota hi nahi mila gaya. I wasn't even told. I have not been informed. This is the second time he said it. Mamata Banerjee launched a diatribe of the worst kind. I mean, after that, Rahul Gandhi and she can never be friends. But then, in politics, it's the art of the impossible. What is the difference between Narendra Modi and the opposition? The opposition speaks 2 kinds of languages. One, which is anti-Indian, not anti-India. Anti-Indian. It's almost as if jo bhi tarakki India kare, the opposition wants to mock it. That's the perception. And does the BJP capitalize on that perception? Of course they do, because they're a political party. They're waiting for you to stumble. Every time you question the Prime Minister, he transfers that question. देखिए, ये मेरे पे नहीं, पर भारत पे सवाल उठा रहे हैं. ये मेरी कामयाबी पे नहीं, आपकी कामयाबी पे सवाल उठा रहे हैं. So what he does is he transfers it, and the opposition is left stunned because they don't know what to do. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is Manishankar Iyer 2.0. Everything is going swimmingly well. First, you start abusing Mamata Banerjee, who's your only ally. Next, in Parliament today, you question Balakot. You then cast aspersions on the armed forces, which are very dear to every Indian, as they should be. I mean, how many self-goals will you score? Even Maradona, from heaven must be wondering what the hell is going on. Number 3, the Prime Minister communicates in a language where messaging is very clear. I'd always joked about Narendra Modi, and he's been my briefing client. So I've told him this before he became CM and now. He should have been in advertising, but thank God he's not. He's fulfilling a larger purpose. Everything is sloganized so people can remember. Rahul Gandhi talks in a language that is indecipherable even to him. I mean, how on earth do you use coal for stoves? That itself spirals the entire population into a think, saying, what the hell is he saying? By the time the population understands what he said, Narendra Modi has moved the goalposts. Now, my point is, it's not about Narendra Modi or the BJP. The BJP is very clear, whether we like it or not. They are clear that their only purpose is to be in power, which is, by the way, the rule and the mandate for any political party. Political parties are not supposed to sit in opposition, or as the Prime Minister said, in speakers' galleries. Their job is to be in power. Arvind Kejriwal is in power, and hats off to Aam Aadmi Party for having come this far in such a short time. And it's praiseworthy. But the point is, you cannot now blame Narendra Modi for fighting the opposition.
Having said that,
he went to Ram Mandir not just to consecrate the temple.
No. Having said that,
what do you want him to do? Pray for an opposition? Or go to Khan Market looking to buying an opposition? No, that's not his job. It is the job of the opposition to oppose. But what's happening is the opposition today is opposing Indians. It is opposing the idea of Indianness, and it is opposing the success of India. That's the problem. And the Prime Minister is smart enough to transfer every attack on him as an attack on India. I think
Piyush, my next clip, very well I understood. If my next clip is very significant, Piyush, from your perspective, since you're a Kejriwal supporter. Narendra Modi believes that if corrupt leaders, whether they be Hemant Soren or Arvind Kejriwal, since the allegation is against him, allegedly, or others, if they are put in jail or they are punished, if they are found to be corrupt, then people will support such action. He actually said with pride, they used to seize 5,000 crores. Our enforcement directorate under our time seizes 1,000 crores. So Narendra Modi knows that corruption will be the big issue. Piyush, watch this clip. Just watch this clip. I would like to play clip number 6, where the Prime Minister speaks about corruption. Can we please play that?
यहाँ पर बहुत गुस्सा व्यक्त किया गया, जितना हो सका उतने कठोर शब्द में गुस्सा व्यक्त किया गया। उनका दर्द मैं समझता हूं, उनकी मुसीबत और ये गुस्सा मैं समझता हूं, क्योंकि तीर निशाने पर लगा है। भ्रष्टाचार पर एजेंसियां एक्शन ले रही हैं, उसको लेकर भी इतना गुस्सा, क्या क्या शब्दों का प्रयोग किया जा रहा है। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, 10 साल पहले हमारे सदन में, पार्लियामेंट में क्या चर्चा होती थी? सदन का पूरा समय घोटालों की चर्चा पर जाता था, भ्रष्टाचार की चर्चा पर जाता था, लगातार एक्शन की डिमांड होती थी। सदन यही मांग करता रहता था, एक्शन लो, एक्शन लो, एक्शन लो। वो कालखंड देश ने देखा है, चारों तरफ भ्रष्टाचार की खबरें रोजमर्रा। और आज जब भ्रष्टाचारियों पर एक्शन लिया जा रहा है, तो लोग उनका समर्थन में हंगामा करते हैं। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, इनके समय में एजेंसियों का सिर्फ और सिर्फ राजनीतिक उपयोग के लिए उपयोग किया जाता था, बाकी उनको कोई काम करने नहीं दिया जाता था। अब आप देखिए उनके कालखंड में क्या हुआ। पीएमएलए एक्ट के तहत हमने पहले के मुकाबले 2 गुने से अधिक केस दर्ज किए। कांग्रेस के समय में ईडी ने 5,000 करोड़ रुपए की संपत्ति जब्त की। हमारे कार्यकाल में ईडी ने 1 लाख करोड़ रुपए की संपत्ति, देश का लूटा हुआ माल देना ही पड़ेगा। और जिनका इतना सारा माल पकड़ा जाता हो, नोटों के ढेर पकड़े जाते हो। और अधीर बाबू तो बंगाल से आते हैं, देखे हैं नोटों के ढेर उन्होंने। तो किस किस के घर में से पकड़े जाते, किस किस राज्यों में पकड़े जाते थे। ये देश ये नोटों के ढेर देख देख करके चौंक गया है। लेकिन अब जनता को आप मूर्ख नहीं बना सकते। जनता देख रही है कि किस प्रकार से यूपीए सरकार में जो भ्रष्टाचार की बातें होती थी, उसका टोटल 10-15 लाख करोड़ का रहा है। चर्चा होती थी, हमने लाखों करोड़ के घोटाले तो अटकाए, लेकिन उन सारे पैसों को गरीबों के काम लगा दिया, गरीबों के कल्याण के लिए। अब बिचौलियों के लिए गरीबों को लूटना बहुत मुश्किल हो गया है।
So Piyush, you must be very scared. You must be very scared. You thought ED, CBI, Supreme Court, go help us, we are being victimized, we'll put the BJP on the defensive. No. Absolutely the opposite. The Prime Minister is going to make it an issue to get votes. And you, by claiming that, the ED is against you, are actually going around telling the people, we are corrupt, but vote for us. The BJP is going to say, we caught them, they are corrupt, vote for us. Who will the people vote for? Piyush, it's a losing battle.
Right.
You heard that clip. It's a losing battle for you.
Right. So all I'm going to say that the way the Prime Minister spoke about the enforcement directorates and its political witch hunt is basically a shamelessly brazen attempt on covering up the tracks of the enforcement directorate. So he does not talk about Himanta Biswa Sarma. We have, it may appear like a platitude. We keep on talking about the same things again and again. We are all irritated by it. We did not talk about Ajit Dada Pawar. He did not talk about Digambar Kamath. He did not talk about Chhagan Bhujbal. He did not talk about, scores of the scams of corruption which have happened in the states which are being ruled by the Bharatiya Janata Party. I come from a state of Madhya Pradesh. The Prime Minister talked about Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao Yojana. Now tell me, the two topmost states who rank in maternal mortality are Assam and Madhya Pradesh. Assam ranks number one when it comes to maternal mortality rate.
Corruption.
And Madhya Pradesh ranks number two.
Violation of FEMA. Violation of FEMA.
I don't understand, Piyush Joshi.
Violation
if
of
you heard the
FEMA.
Prime Minister complete.
Arnab, I have been very patient in listening to you. I heard you out. Now I just want one to 1.5 minutes. I do not require much more amount of time to make my point. Then you can always counter me. Now, just let me enumerate certain schemes which the Prime Minister announced during his tenure. Startup India.
I will only make one point. I will make one point. I will make one point, and then you debate on this with Sanju. This is going to be a damn furious debate. But you let me make my one point, then you debate with Sanju. Make one point.
Sure, go on.
If they are all wrong, if the ED is wrong, if the government is wrong, if you guys are victimized, if it is all fake, then tell me and tell the nation, how does the ED claim a 96% conviction rate in cases registered again under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act? How does the ED claim 96% conviction rate?
Does the ED mention in how many of the cases registered the ED has got the convictions in total? It is less. It is a 0.5% conviction rate for the enforcement directorate.
I need to come
96%.
Total number of cases registered, and then you look at the conviction rates.
Did some
What are
money
we talking about?
was money recovered from Partha Chowdhury's house or
0.5% of cases
not?
the ED has got the
Was
conviction.
money recovered from
What are we
Partha
talking
Chowdhury's
about? Now
house?
let me just
is yes.
few more things.
Was
We
money
talked about
recovered in
how
Partha
Madam
Chowdhury's
Chowdhury
house? The
has
answer is yes.
This can't be a monologue by the Aam Aadmi Party.
Madam, you had a long monologue. I did not interrupt. So I'm just finishing off my argument. When we talk about higher education, what happened with the higher education? Where is the
Listen to me,
University was declared as
Listen to
University
me.
of Excellence?
Arvind Kejriwal has a problem for every solution.
Madam,
Arvind
talk about
Kejriwal also has
the
many
life
friends
expectancy
who
during the
can
time
take.
of Nehru.
Yeah, now you
tell
have to
me,
stop.
when were the
You're
most of the
sounding
primary health
you're
centers
sounding like your
built up?
leader.
Tell me,
You're going on and
when
on.
were the most of the primary health centers built up in this country?
Yeah, why don't you lower his fader?
When was the last committee formed when it comes to the primary health care in this country?
Was money
really gibberish, and you're giving him a free run.
When was the
Okay, 1 minute. Piyush, now you're getting a little worked up. I gave you the number of 96% conviction in cases registered under the PMLA, which the ED operates under. I'd like Sanju to come in, please. Viewers, it's clear to me. Mr. Modi intends to make. Okay, before you come in, Sohail and Piyush take a break. Let Sohail respond 30 seconds. Then Sanju comes in. Then we'll take it forward.
Yeah. Conviction or
Sohail, 30 seconds to you.
Piyush, I believe Arvind Kejriwal is as pure as the driven snow. If he is, why is he not responding to the ED summons? 5 times the ED has to call him. Who is he, Mahatma Gandhi? If he's Mahatma Gandhi and he's so pure, he's so honorable, he should go to the ED's office and submit himself for questioning. When Narendra Modi was accused post Godra, he submitted himself to questioning. So, aapke, as we would say in Punjabi, Arvind Kejriwal ko kaun se lattu lage hain? Number one. Number two, was money found in Partho Chatterjee's house or not in Calcutta? It was. Money was found in his house. Did Enforcement Directorate plant that money? No. The money came from somewhere. The Enforcement Directorate has every reason to recover that money. So, let's not find a problem for every solution. The point with the Aam Aadmi Party is, you have now become used to crying wolf.
I think
become used to playing victim. Enough is enough. Yeah, I'm done.
Now, I'm just asking the question.
I think it's 1 minute. Let Sanju respond. Abhishek, you come in after Sanju. Sanju. No, 1 minute. Piyush, now wait. Piyush is now Sanju's turn. We open it up. Piyush, you now down a pick a chill now. Piyush,
is he asked to appear as a witness? Is he asked to appear as a head of political party?
I refuse to speak if I'm not given time because I did not heckle Piyush Joshi when he was
talking.
Are they asking? I think it's unfair that you allow Piyush Joshi to heckle me. I refuse to speak.
So who's going to speak?
Let him continue. Let him continue to rant and ramble. Because when he was talking, I was absolutely quiet. I expect the same courtesy.
You did not extend me the same courtesy, madam. You did.
Listen, I'm not talking to you. I'm addressing the anchor. So shut up. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the anchor of the show, Arnab Goswami.
Now, Piyush, now, okay. Piyush, okay, man.
There's no need to get
okay, now we move on.
I never use this disrespectful word when it comes to you. So I expect the same courtesy from you.
Fine, continue to cry. Continue to cry.
1 minute, please continue.
I refuse to debate. You can continue to cry on national television if that is what Arnab Goswami wants you to do.
Attitude of a very powerful man.
Piyush, now you're overdoing it, yaar.
What are we talking about?
Piyush, you're overdoing it now. I have limited time. I have 2 more clips to take. Don't overdo it. I put your point. I know you're nervous. I know you're worried that on Wednesday the court may okay an arrest warrant. Then it's your problem. You go for summons before that.
What is about the mental state of the BJP people,
Fine.
क्योंकि तुमसे
पहले जो यहाँ पे you want to have the debate where you give a long road to this Aam Aadmi Party goon, so be it. I refuse to debate like this because I did not
intense. Continue, yeah. Piyush, be quiet.
Arnab, on a lighter note, if Arvind Kejriwal is innocent, then Sanju Verma is Taylor Swift, Arnab Goswami is Elvis Presley, and Piyush Joshi is Elton John. But unfortunately, that's not the case. On a more serious note, I have this to say, and maybe, we can say Suhail said is Ed Sheeran. On a more serious note, I have this to say. It was in April 2023 that Abhishek Manu Singhvi was representing 14 opposition parties, including Congress, DMK, RJD, Aam Aadmi Party, what have you. And exactly the trope that the opposition speaks every 24/7 on live debates. And 95% of the cases are against the BJP. BJP is a washing machine. This is what Abhishek Manu Singhvi said. That 95% of the cases are against the opposition. The ED is being authoritarian. And listen to what CJI, Chief Justice Chandrachud said. He said, are you saying that because of these statistics that you've quoted, Mr. Singhvi, there should be immunity from investigation? Political leaders stand absolutely on the same standing as the citizens of this country. They do not claim a higher identity. How can there be a different set of procedures for them? Are you saying politicians should be given protection? And then Justice Chandrachud goes on to say, you claim, Mr. Singhvi, that the political space for the opposition in India has shrunk. We urge you to find a solution to your shrinking political space within the political space. You cannot use the judiciary to settle your political battles. So if the political space of the opposition has shrunk, hypothetically speaking, because it believes that the ED is being weaponized. The CJI has clearly said it's a political battle. Find a solution within the political landscape. Do not weaponize the judiciary to settle your political scores. So point number one, the Supreme Court has come down heavily on the likes of Abhishek Manu Singhvi, and I won't use impolite language saying Abhishek Manu Singhvi thereafter withdrew his petition and scurried with his tail between his legs, because that would be impolite. But I'll be more generous. And now let me tell you some hard statistics. Satinder Jain's
How
bail
long are you going to
application-
continue?
Satinder Jain's bail
How long are you
application
going to
rejected
continue?
22 times.